Hello everyone, I am Ahmed Saikia, third year engineering physics student at IIT Rockey. Today I am going to present on the topic Haptic Technology for my course Applied Instrumentation. So, what exactly is haptic? The word haptic has been derived from the Greek word haptikos that pertains to the sense of touch. So, now what is haptic technology? Haptic technology is a kind of 3D touch where we try to record, display, or recreate this sense of touch by application of force, vibrations, or motions, or using any sort of modality that can be used to record your touches. So the content of this presentation would be as follows. We will try to have some prerequisite in terms of the biology that are required to understand and appreciate our touch. Next, we will try to go through some case studies and the state of the arts. And in the third stage, we will try to develop our own haptic technology. So, haptic information can be categorized into two categories. The first is a tactile information, and this tactile information refers to the information that is acquired by the receptors in our skin. So, they can be in the form of pressure, temperature, or texture. The another one is the kinesthetic information, which are recorded or perceived by the receptors in our bones, tendons, muscles. So even if you try numb your skin, you would still sense this touch because of the receptors in your muscles, joints, and tendons. So let's take an example. This cutaneous vibration is a specialized form of this tactile information. For example, if you tap any kind of material, it would generate some kind of vibration in your skin. And this, the frequency of the vibration and the intensity depends on different materials. So this is a research paper that identify the materials and the cutaneous vibration that develop in the skin. The method that they used to track this vibration is they used 30 accelerometers, and they were positioned in such a way so that they can track the entire hand span. So these accelerometers are a MEMS based sensor or micro electromechanical sensors. They have got small spring based devices which can track acceleration of the body that they are attached to. So these accelerometers then track the vibrations that passes through them, and this can then be mapped to the intensity of the vibration and the frequency of vibration that is generated. So now we will try to understand the case study and the state of the art technology that are being developed and are currently under research. So this is the tactile sensing. So how do we record touch? So in this technology, what they have used is they have used 8 micro channels. Each of them are filled with eutectic gallium indium. This eutectic gallium indium is an alloy, and it has got very good property is in terms of its fluidity, stretchability. So this technology is very flexible because of the use of eutectic gallium indium, and also because of the use of elastomer. So this is a capacitive based device that has got 8 micro channels, and each of them are placed orthogonally in a cross check pattern, and the top layer is positively charged and the lower layer is negatively charged. So what happens is then due to this, whenever any kind of pressure is applied on this device, then it causes a change in the capacitance, and this capacitance, the effective change in the capacitance can be calibrated to measure the spatial distribution of the pressure that was applied to the elastomer. Next is tactile touch. So okay, now we have recorded the touch. Like how do we transfer this touch? So the technology that is currently under research, the actuators that are used are known as dielectric polymer actuators. So these dielectric polymer actuators contain a polymer that is sandwiched between two electrodes. These electrodes can be like carbon grease, and these elastomers, what happens is that if we apply any kind of voltage across the electrodes, then due to the Coulomb attraction, a compression force develops between the electrode, due to which the dielectric elastomer tends to expand. But since volume remains constant, and so it decreases in thickness but increases in terms of its length and breadth. But if we constrain its dimension, then what would happen is that this would generate dents. So like you can see in the figure that there are bumps up in because of the application of voltage. So these are very precise and can be developed at a very fast rate. Next is the electroadhesive device. This electroadhesive device works on the same principle of Coulomb attraction. What it does is that whenever you try to move your finger through a screen or display, what it would do is that by applying application of voltage, charge would accumulate, and due to this charge, attract your finger, and hence what would happen is that it will generate higher normal force, and hence the frictional force you experience would be higher when you pass through those regions. The kinesthetic touch. So both of the above examples were related to tactile touch. Now what we want to understand is how do you transfer this touch to our joints or muscles. So this is a glove that was developed a few years back, known as the cyber glove. This cyber glove has got three passive joints, and they are arranged in a 4-bar mechanism. A 4-bar mechanism uses 4 bars that are arranged in a loop. So this instead of bars, here we use cables, and these cables are attached to a linear actuator. This linear actuator is controlled using a DC motor equipped with a rotary encoder. So the force feedback mechanism that controls this device is that there exists an object in the virtual environment, and because we also know the coordinate of your fingers or your hand, so the algorithm will try to determine if there is any kind of collision between the object in the virtual environment and your position of your fingers. So if there is any kind of collision, then depending on the texture and rigidity of the material in the virtual environment, it will send response to linear actuator, where it would pull the cable, due to which we can feel the kinesthetic touch. So now let us try to develop a technology of sense. Now what new are we doing here? Like for example, we have these cameras for recording sceneries or any kind of visual information. We have audio recorders for auditory information, but we have not still incorporated in the mainstream any kind of device that can record touch. So before developing sense, let us try to understand two devices. Number one is a Peltier cell. So Peltier cell uses thermocouples. In thermocouples, we have two different metals such that they have different thermal conductivities. So what happens is then this is the reverse of Seebeck effect, where if we try to heat up one side and keep the other side cold, then our voltage difference generates because of the difference in the thermal conduction of the electrons. So similarly, if we put voltage across this thermocouple, what would happen is that heat would generate in one side, and it would become cold on other side. So these Peltier cells are made by connecting p-type materials and n-type materials in series using metallic plates. So one side of the plate becomes cold and other side of the ceramic plate becomes hot. The next is a pneumatic driven soft robots. Pneumatic driven soft robots can be categorized as the following types, like bidirectional, helical, bending, contraction. So what the mechanism is that by pumping air or by extracting out air from cavities, we can change the shape, we can expand it, we can contract it, we can twist it, and various kinds of tasks can be achieved by application of pressure. So for example, in the bending type, we can see that there are two cavities, and these two cavities, by pumping in air into these cavities, we can deform the shape of the soft robots. Okay, so now as we are equipped, now let us try to understand how sense would work. Sense is a complete device that are made up of cells, and these cells consist of the following technology. The first top layer is the elastomer. The next is a bellow-based composite structure. Next consists of two Peltier cells, and next is again a bellow-based composite structure, which are arranged as a stack. So the first layer is an elastomer, which provides the flexibility to be deformed. The next layer consists of a bellow-based composite structure. This is connected to a pneumatic control system, where by pumping in air we can deform it and bend it, so that any form of dent or bend, or we can make it planar. The next layer consists of two Peltier cells. Why we require here two Peltier cells? One is in one of the Peltier cell, the hot side is faced towards the elastomer, and in the central part we have the colder side facing towards the elastomer. So even if you want to change the temperature at a very fast rate, this would be possible because of the use of two Peltier cells. Otherwise, which would not have been possible using a single Peltier cell. So using a temperature control system, if we know what of temperature has to be put in this part of the cell, then we can use this Peltier cell to provide the temperature. The third and the last layer is this a bellow based composite structure, which is again controlled to connected to a pneumatic control system, but this is placed vertically. So why this is placed vertically? Because the dents or the bands that were generated by the first bellow based structure is what to generate the texture of the top layer. But sometimes we may require to generate a high amount of dents, so for or bands. So for that we can use this fourth layer, which can create a height in the cells. So if we combine a lot of these cells to form a three-dimensional object, then we can obtain sense. So this device would then you can insert your hand in this device, and you can feel the touch that you have recorded. So what is the applicability of such an innovation? So one is that we can for braille language we don't require engravings anymore, so we can digitally understand braille language and can understand various forms of those language. So now next is that we can understand our CAD designs in a 3D environment where we can touch and feel our CAD designs. And the third point that I have already repeated is that for vision we have this camera, for auditory we have this audio recorder. So using this we can even show the touch that we experience. So what are some current applications of haptic technology? So one of the important application is in medical field for palpation. So palpation is a diagnostic technique that involves the use of hands to feel the abnormalities in the body. So for example, if we use some haptic touch or haptic gloves, then it is possible that we can record the information in an efficient and in a better way, which can be used for further diagnostic purposes. Next is the use of haptic technology in military practices, where you can feel the forces and while using any kind of equipment. So that's it. Thank you.